What's up, everyone? Happy day 55 of the challenge, but also welcome to Vlogmas day number 2. So, what do I have going on today? I'm actually pulling out my laptop because I'm getting ready to log on to the peer group, the peer writing group. So, I'm going to keep talking while I'm digging into my bag. I know it's probably not really professional, but it's a vlog, so this is as good as it gets. This is as raw as it gets, okay? So far, what have I done today? I listened to the sermon. It was a really good sermon. It's the church that I would say kind of grew up in. I don't really consider myself growing up in San Antonio, partly because I moved there when I was 15. So that's the church that my parents joined. The church that I watched the service is the church that my parents joined when we were there. So, and they are still members of this church. So I like to watch the service on Sundays. I started watching the services on Sundays back in 2020. For a long time, I hadn't really been attending any services online. But I just felt, not like I just felt, but it's really hard to find local churches. I'm not even gonna, well, I could get into that, but some of you guys can relate. I feel like as older millennials slash Gen Xers, we attend church, but we definitely are probably not attending in the way that we grew up. So, which can be challenging for some parents to accept, but that's what it is. Anyway, so what do I have planned for today? Well, like I said, I'm hopping on to the peer group. We're getting ready to touch base, talk about our papers, and what else, which is about an hour and a half from 1 to 2:30, give or take. And I afterwards am going to be meeting with, I'm looking around for my notebook. I will be meeting with a student at 3. I think I shared that in one of my other like daily vlogs. I know, I feel like I've been vlogging for a while, because I have been vlogging for a while. But anyways, so I'll be meeting with a student, and afterwards, I think clearly I have an issue. Y'all see that I have like another poster of Bruno Mars in the background. Y'all are seeing parts of this room that you have not quite seen yet, but it's a very busy office. But I'll be meeting with my student to just go over her paper, and basically after that, I think I'm going to take a computer break. I like to count my peer group time as a part of my as a part of the challenge itself, because I am dedicating time to my paper, but also getting ideas on things that I could be enhancing or doing different. That's just my take on it. Are you kidding me? I think my mouse is dying. Yes, I use a mouse. I know I could use like just my hands, but I find, okay, I noticed that my last video cut off. I have to turn off the gestures. Otherwise, it gets a little crazy over here. So I find that whenever, for one, with teaching and having to teach from Zoom, I have to be able to quickly click from different screens like efficiently. And even though there's a mouse pad built in on the laptop, it's just very counterproductive. And I can always, I mean, this is no judgment to people that don't have a lot of experience on like Google Meets or Zoom, but when you don't have that practice of presenting and you're so used to using like your mouse pad on your laptop, you're wasting a lot of time whenever you're presenting and you're having to share a screen. I guess I'm just throwing out a tip for those that are just like, that are that perhaps don't do a lot of presenting, but just want to be a little bit more efficient. Using a mouse is going to make you more efficient. You're just going to be able to click through the screens much quicker and more smoother and have less lag time. So I found that I started incorporating a mouse back into my life like 4 years ago. And now I can't, I mean, I could do things without a mouse, but I just find that it's much quicker. But I know for like some of the younger millennials or Gen Zers, they're just like, how do you use the mouse? That's too much. Listen, at my grown 41-year-old age, and those of us that are like mid-level career and all of that, like you want to be as efficient as possible because you're going to have those younger kids in the crowd that are like, what's taking so long? Why are you not more efficient? You know what I mean? So again, using a mouse is good. And I don't have like a specific brand. This is like Logitech, nothing critical. And I have used wireless mouse. I almost said mice. That's awkward. Anyways, I've used wireless. Although nice for traveling, I would recommend wireless for traveling, kind of. Only because the battery life is probably not going to die as quickly. But I like the wired one from when I'm home because you can just plug it right in. But I find with wireless, like you want to be like as wireless while traveling, it just travels a little bit easier. However, you do need to make sure that you know the battery sizes for that wireless mouse, or at least know how long is this wireless mouse going to last for. That'll be helpful for you. Also, that is not my travel tip for the day. None of this is a part of the travel tip. This is just me talking because I was setting up my laptop. So anyways, I'm waiting for the folks to sign on. I am going to go grab the Hydro Flask water bottles that I mentioned in yesterday's video so I can kind of give you guys some examples for the travel tip. I just think it would be really helpful if you guys actually saw which ones I was talking about, because I know I've got one subscriber that's going to be traveling, and so I will say this because I know where she's traveling to. I'm trying to create some travel tips that would be kind of tailored to her trip. That's kind of my goal. And because she's going to be gone, I think for like 2 months, she's my YouTube bestie, AKA, what do they say? Sister from another mister. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, her name is D. Lisher TV. You can find her channel on Lisher TV. So anyways, we both like joined this. Well, we have both been on YouTube already, but we came back into the space literally like at the same time. And like true to form, the YouTube algorithm just knew that I would love her content because every time I would get on, it would recommend her channel. And I want to say I was one of the first 5 people to subscribe. I may have been the first one to subscribe. I honestly feel like I was one of the first people, but I'll never know. It's okay if I don't have that answer. But anyways, she, and it's funny because now like we've connected on Instagram and we just have a lot of commonalities, and it's really interesting how the algorithm just knows you and just, you know, puts the right people in place. So anyways, I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to grab Hydro Flask. So when I hop back on and talk about travel tips, I will be able to show the Hydro Flask that I use and be able to give my new travel tip for the day. And I'll be using my tablet because I kind of wrote out a list. I'm going to give another cheat code in a minute. So anyways, I'll be back. Okay, what's up everyone? So I told you guys I was gonna bring out the actual Hydro Flask that I've used for travel. And I'm gonna start with the first 2 that I purchased. They were in 2019, and it's this pink one. Again, it's made by Hydro Flask, and it's a 24-ounce bottle. And you can actually trade these out. It's something about, I know I can trade it, but I haven't gotten there yet. So this is a 24-ounce one, and what you'll notice that it's much slimmer. And I'll compare it to the 32-ounce one that I recently purchased this summer for travel, and I'll explain why I went from a 24 to a 32-ounce. Also, when I bought the 24-ounce one, I bought this particular one. It's a coffee one. It can hold like warm beverages. So if you like tea or coffee, I like to travel with this. And I actually have traveled with this I've taken both, and it really depends on where I'm traveling to. And this one is 16 ounces, and I feel like you could also just buy a 16-ounce one. And the nice thing about Hydro Flask is that you can get a different lid, so you don't have to have like a warm lid, you know, for sipping. The only thing that I will say about this particular one, which I do have coffee in it, so I need to be very, very careful, is inside of here, there's these, there's like a rubber, like a kind of like a rubber lining on the inside. When I first bought it, that little rubber band fell out and I was spilling coffee everywhere. So yeah, that was not fun. But with that being said, it was super easy to replace. I didn't have to like buy a whole another lid. I just literally went to the store, found the part that I needed, and I was able to put it inside, or I think my husband put it inside for me. But anyways, every now and again, that little rubber piece likes to fall out, but we get it together. This summer, I upgraded to a 32 ounce. And here's the reason why. So I don't know about you, but when I'm traveling, especially since I was over in Europe, it was, I was cruising in Europe, and I knew I was going to be doing like a lot of touristy type of stuff. I'm an avid water drinker, so I can drink over 64 to like 80 ounces of water a day easily. Sometimes I've drank upwards to like 100 ounces. So what I find is when I'm traveling is that I don't get as much water in as I typically would if I'm home. And I think partly because I live in a really dry climate and there's just access to water everywhere, whether I'm at home or going to work, it doesn't matter. Like, you can just easily get water wherever you're at. So I upgraded to this 32 ounce one intentionally. And the only thing that really sucks is it doesn't fit in to cup holders. It is cumbersome, but it's great in terms of staying hydrated. And the thing about traveling is that you can become dehydrated. So what I do is whatever hotel or wherever I'm staying, I just fill it up, and I try to like intentionally drink more water before I leave my hotel or my parents or wherever I'm at. And then I fill this up, and the goal is to drink this, you know, finish the whole 32 ounces by dinner, and then I fill it up again. So then I know by the end of the day, I've gotten over 64 ounces of water. That's usually my goal. So although cumbersome, I think it really depends on how much water you're drinking, but it's a great sturdy water bottle. Other than that, I don't have any complaints. This one has a couple of dings and stuff on it, but it still works. Like, it's still a great water bottle. And I still like to take it to CrossFit, and I know I could like replace this, but I'm like, it still works perfectly fine. So I don't really care. So that's the only thing. And I want to say this fell apart maybe a year and a half ago, this lid part. And that was after having it for more than 4 or 5 years. So I hope that was helpful. The next travel tip I will be giving here is a little bit later in the video, but I wanted to share my 3 Hydro Flask bottles that I have, and hopefully this is helpful to you. What's up, everyone? All right, I'm back. I met with my student earlier. It's the evening time. I'm actually getting ready to go to the movies to see Moana 2 because it's Sunday night. And something I have figured out in the last week is, for one, I miss going to the movies. And for two, it's a super cheap, inexpensive date. And I like going on Sundays because the movie theater is not as crowded. So we're going to go see Moana 2. And also, something I've discovered in going to the movies or going back to the movies is oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. But something else I discovered was that I prefer to go like kind of in my off season from working. So I still have 2 weeks of my contract of work, but this week is finals for my students. So honestly, I do project based assignments, like project based bigger assignments for the students. And so they're all going to be turning those in this week. I'll actually grade some tonight. And I do that intentionally because in early childhood or in education, specifically early childhood, I need to see that they can do the practical work of like working with children. So I learned that a long time ago. But anyways, y'all are here to see what is day number 2 of my Sephora moving lights. And I'm going to try to be quick. And actually, Miss D over at LeSure TV gave me a great idea. She said, whatever I don't use, maybe I can do it as a giveaway on here. If y'all like the idea of me doing a giveaway, type something in the chat. Type giveaway. So then I know that you're interested. All right, so day 2 is over in this corner. Yesterday, I got mascara. You guys heard the story behind that. So let's go. Ooh, okay. All right, so it's a prebiotic. It's Sephora Prebiotic Clean Skin Gel. Cleanse plus tone. Oh, I don't, how to use. It's an AM and PM wet your skin, massage over face, eyes, and neck, and rinse. I don't know, guys. I might try that for myself. I'll have to read more about this product, but it's by Sephora themselves. So anyways, that's pretty cool. So we've got mascara, we've got something to wash our face with, and we're just moving right along. All right. So I also said I was going to share with you guys part of like, I'm calling it like my gifts or acts of kindness gifts. So last year, and actually not just last year, but I really was very much intentional. And for those of you that are empty nesters or like moving into that space of your life, you'll probably understand this more. So I started sending out Christmas cards last year, which was something I've never really been good at doing. Never, ever, ever. But I find in this post-parent era of my life, and also, I mean, obviously I like working with children, so I'm a very giving person. I like to pay it forward, and so I wanted to find creative ways to give gifts to people that just, they provide a service for me or my friends. It doesn't really matter, but there's so many people I want to thank. And the best time for me to do it is around the holidays. So around Christmas time is when I typically do these gifts. Now, here's what I do. I went to Ulta, and you see these little gift packets. This is just one of like 3 things I'm going to put together. So I went to Ulta and I got some lip balm. And so there's 3 in a pack. But instead of giving out all 3 of these to one person, what I do is I take them all out of the packages and I give them out individually. So that way it's like I'm getting like multiple gifts kind of wrapped in one. So I'm going to do that. And I have several people that like sweet wine. A lot of people like Stella Rosa. So I'm going to just go buy some Stella Rosa. And I also like to get like hand soap from Bath and Body Works. And I have to give credit to like a really good friend of mine, like from 20 years ago. She, as a teacher, she's like, girl, I want to give gifts to teachers, but I'm on a teacher budget. So she would just get like a Christmas scent, literally put a bow on it and a Christmas card, and was like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And I like it because it's a very practical gift. And so everything that I try to give, I want it to be something that people could actually use. And I'm also one of those people that are like, if you can't use it, then re-gift it to someone else. Like, that doesn't bother me. People re-gift. So that's just part 1 of their gifts. And as I put it together, I'll show more of that. So anyways, you guys probably want to hear the travel tip. I'm saving this for the end. So for day 2 of the travel tip, I have my notes right here on my tablet. I'm reading it as we speak. Plan ahead. So create a packing list tailored to your destination, activities, and length of stay. So I'm actually going to go back because I'm going to give you guys like another kind of a good cheat code, I think. And I'm seeing like more influencers do it. And I'm not going to lie, I actually used it myself. It's like another random travel tip. But when I was traveling this summer, I took a cruise through the Greek Isles and then with my work BFF. And so our trip from the Greek Isles, we came back, we hung out in Italy for the weekend. I actually used AI to plan the parts of our Italy trip. It was really, really cool. So I know it's like, what do you mean you use AI? So Expedia had this AI piece and I was like, kind of interested. And so between traveling in Rome and then just other places I went to, Expedia did just like a really good job just kind of compiling some things that I would be interested in. And so I wanted to test this out. And again, this is for Miss D, who's going to be traveling to Morocco. And I was like, let me see what AI is going to tell us. But so here's what I plan to do. I've already downloaded everything and I'm going to share it in my community tab as upload so you guys can see it as well. But this is the list that AI put together. I put it was a 2-month trip, and this is customized 2-month trip to Morocco during the late winter, early spring, tailored for sightseeing, working, and filming, because you know she is on YouTube and she's got to film these goats eating from the trees. We need to see this live. So it has some essentials: 7 to 10 lightweight tops, 2 to 3 warm sweaters or cardigans, 2 to 3 pairs of jeans, slacks, or comfortable trousers, 2 pairs of leggings or thermal base layers for cooler days, and 1 to 2 pairs of dress pants or skirts for formal or professional setting, 1 lightweight jacket like a windbreaker or raincoat, which I got some recommendations on that. I have a lot of recommendations on specific clothes regarding this stuff. I'll have to share that in another video. A warm coat or jacket for chilly evenings, a scarf or like a shawl. Also having a pair of gloves and a hat for cooler weather. You could also have a hat for warmer weather too. It can go both ways. 1 or 2 pairs of shorts or lightweight pants for warmer days, and then 2 to 3 dresses or tunics. So modest, covering knees and shoulders. I thought this was a really good list. I know the next piece of all of this is like what type of clothing. So I can go into capsule wardrobe. I can go into what types of jackets. Like I literally have gotten rid of most of my pea coats because it didn't make sense for living in Arizona. And I've invested into better jackets for the type of life that I live, not just in Arizona, but when I'm traveling. So I live in a really dry climate, but I usually travel to humid climates, or when I go to the Northwest, it's much cooler there with like a hint of humidity. It's very different. So I have to be like kind of prepared for these different types of weather settings. And I have thoughts on like whether you should have a jacket with print or not. It's a whole thing. So, and then as far as footwear, it did recommend 4 different pairs of shoes, 1 pair of comfortable walking shoes for sightseeing. I have some recommendations on walking shoes. 1 pair of dress shoes for formal settings, 1 pair of sandals or lightweight shoes for warmer days, and then 1 pair of indoor slippers or flip-flops. So technically I feel like the last pair is like not really a pair, but anyways. So my mom teases me because she's like, I swear you just want to wear these old lady shoes. And I said, no, it's not that I want to wear old lady shoes. The thing is that I am a plus size woman. I'm walking around in another country where there's not sidewalks. It's cobblestone. It's uneven ground. The list goes on. You want to have shoes that are going to support your body, and you want to be comfortable. You don't want to injure yourself in another country simply because you didn't wear the proper type of shoes. I could talk about shoes. If you want to know about shoes, I got you. There's a reason why I own Hoka's. If you have tried Skechers, I have nothing against Skechers. I think Skechers are nice. If you live in the United States, oh, I have stories for that too. Anyways, undergarments and sleepwear says 10 to 12 pairs of underwear. Okay, let me tell you something. My coworker and I, we have jokes. We have to have like double the amount of undergarments for the amount of days we travel. It's a whole story. But anyways, the list says 2 to 3 bras. I don't know if I'm just going to have 2 to 3, especially when they're saying like including a sports bra. It's probably going to be a firm 4 plus a sports bra. It just, that's on you. 7 to 10 pairs of socks. A few warm pairs. Again, I think you also probably need to look into how much access you're going to have to laundry. I have done this to where I have literally traveled for 2.5 weeks and I had to do laundry where I was at. So then I had clothes for the next part of the trip, but I was also going to another climate. So you really need to know laundry. What is your laundry situation? And 2 pairs of sleepwear. As far as work and filming gear, laptop and charger, portable external hard drive, noise canceling headphones, smartphone and charger, camera, DSLR or mirrorless, and lenses. That's a lot to carry, but if you want to do it, go for it. I have a mirrorless camera that I use. It is a Sony. I really like that camera. It's light, it's small. I also have a DSLR camera. So let me back up because you're probably like, why do you have so many cameras? I grew up with a dad that took pictures of every moment of our life, okay? My first camera, I think I was, gosh, I may have been, and I had a Nana that did the same thing. I know I was a double digit. I may have been 12. I feel like I was 12 or 13. So I feel like I've taken the reins, kind of, not really taken it fully, but I am the person that takes pictures of every single moment and whatever's going on in life. So, yes. So just like my dad, you know, what is it? Daughter like father. I too have gone through, I don't know, like the evolution of cameras from like 15 milliliter to putting batteries to putting brick batteries. Like I've been through the evolution. The first time I touched a mirrorless camera was a dear friend of mine. She taught me everything I know about photography. It was a Fuji mirrorless. Guys, that's like a dream camera, okay? When I make it on YouTube, we'll aim for that Fuji. But for right now, I like my Sony just as much. But she travels well. Tripod and stabilizer, which I have some good tripod recommendations. I think kind of. Extra memory cards and batteries. Even the bricks, like you want to have extra for those. Power strip and multi-plug adapter. In Morocco, it says they use Type-C and E plugs. That's important to remember because when I traveled to Europe, we made sure that we had all the little converters so we could charge everything. Notebook and pens. And I'm pretty sure Miss D is going to have a notebook. Toiletries. I'm going to try to make this quick. My gosh. Travel size shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, skincare products, moisturizer, sunscreen, lip balm, razor, shaving cream, deodorant, hairbrush and comb, feminine hygiene products, minimal makeup if needed, and nail clipper and tweezers, first aid kit, which includes painkillers, band-aids, allergy medication, etc. Let me tell you, make sure you have a first aid kit. That's all I got to say about that. Miscellaneous. Number one thing they put on here, reusable water bottle. I just talked about that on day 1 of Vlogmas. Travel size laundry detergent. Guys, need that. Make sure you have a hamper or a dirty clothes bag as well. Lightweight day pack or tote bag. Yes, I can talk about those too. Sunglasses and UV protection. Travel pillow, eye mask for long journeys. along with a local SIM card and portable Wi-Fi device. Maybe want to look into that. Copies of your important documents, passport, visa, travel insurance. Have copies of it for yourself, but also leave copies for with someone stateside. So before I left the country 6 months ago for a 2-week trip, I made sure that I had a copy of my passport, all of my itinerary stuff, everything. I made copies of it, left it with my better half. If he was like not here, I would have left it with my parents. I would have left it with a family member, left it with a friend. You just never know. All right, so that's everything on the travel list. Happy Vlogmas to you guys. Happy Vlogmas Day 2. This is a really, really long video, and I'm really, really sorry. But I will try to tighten it up over the next couple of days. And hopefully you're comfortable and, I don't know, had coffee, had a glass of wine while watching all this. Happy Vlogmas, and I'll see you guys on day 3.